And hello everybody, welcome back to Tousi TV. I'm your host Dan, and today we're going to be discussing the FBI investigating Starmer's ambassador pick, Lord Mandelson. Yes, Lord Mandelson, of course, has been at the centre of a row over his suitability for the top diplomatic role, with sources close to the US President Donald Trump raising the ex-cabinet minister's perceived links to China. Also, of course, there was a war of words back in 2019 where Lord Mandelson branded Donald Trump during his 2019 election campaign a danger to the world. This, of course, has been ongoing for a while. We've been hearing a lot of back and forth with regard to this situation. And again, there's been a lot of rumblings from even inside number 10 about changing this pick and whether Lord Mandelson was actually going to be accepted as the ambassador. Earlier this month, of course, as well, a member of Trump's team told The Independent that it was still not certain that Lord Mandelson's credentials would be accepted, blaming strains with Keir Starmer's government and concerns about Lord Mandelson's perceived links to China. The Trump source said that while Labour had told the Trump transition team it was a huge compliment that Keir wanted to send such a senior Labour figure, they were not, quote-unquote, buying that. Lord Mandelson is number 10's first choice for the role in Washington. And of course, Keir Starmer and the Labour government seem to be sticking by that. Now, of course, there has been more reports come out with regards to this situation earlier on today, stating that an FBI dossier has been handed over to the FBI and an investigation is ongoing with regard to Lord Mandelson. So, what we got with regard to that in terms of the information, it said that the dossier is said to claim that Lord Mandelson was listed as an advisor to China's International Capital Corporation, a global investment bank in 2013. This is not declared on the House of Lords Register of Interest. It also suggests he made several trips to China himself, often as a part of a delegation from his firm. So again, the FBI, the politicians in America have of course handed over a dossier to the FBI to of course do their due diligence, to have a little look into more on Lord Mandelson. And on this, Lord Mandelson, when he was asked to comment about it, he did state, "I had no business dealings in China." And that's simply all he said with regard to it. So again, just to clarify, a dossier, of course, has been handed over to the FBI. And this situation looks as though, if you've been seeing the news this morning, it does look as though that the US or the White House will accept Lord Mandelson as the ambassador pick. However, despite Trump being fine with it now, the FBI have to do their due diligence, and this is currently out of Donald Trump's hands anyway. But as stated, reports this morning now are stating that, of course, Lord Mandelson will be approved as the appointment as the UK ambassador to the United States, despite this whirlwind of stuff that has been currently happening with regard to Starmer's first pick. There's been a lot of number 10 have been under pressure to drop Lord Mandelson as the chosen candidate, but apart from that, it does look like it's out of Trump's hands now, and of course he will be accepted if you're going off the headlines this morning. So yeah, I mean, it's been a long situation. Maybe it has something to do with that phone call that Keir Starmer was saying. Of course, he said that recently this week that there was a 45-minute phone call between Keir Starmer and Donald Trump. So again, this may have been rectified on this said phone call, and again, the way that Donald Trump is speaking at this moment in time and stating that Starmer is doing a good job and all these kind of things suggests that there is not going to be any feuds. However, of course, the FBI were investigating Mandelson's past. So again, out of Trump's hands, and we'll have to see what actually happens. But headlines this morning suggest that Lord Mandelson will indeed be approved for this ambassador role. So yes, guys, as always, do let me know your thoughts on this down there in the comment section with regard to Lord Mandelson, with regard to this whole investigation from the FBI. And do you think Lord Mandelson should be the UK ambassador to the United States? Get involved in the live chat. Now, I also see a lot of comments coming through as well, asking where Mayor is. Guys, Mayor does a fantastic job here on Tousi TV, built this right to the top, but he actually did have have some personal issues yesterday, just to state, and he'll be back later today. So don't worry, he's not gone anywhere. Just simply had things to deal with yesterday personally, so we'll be back with a lot more content later on today for you guys, and sends his apologies for not being able to create content for you yesterday. I'm going to get into the chat, ladies and gentlemen, and take what your thoughts are on this situation. So I can see a super chat has come through from Mike. Big shout out to Mike. Very, very generous. Let me just try and sort that out so it doesn't go over the line. So Mike has said that he donates £10 and says, "Hi Dan, what is Sam playing at? First she joined Urban Scoop, then switched to Tousi TV, and now it seems she has jumped ship to Rebel News. I think she has turned mercenary and no longer can be trusted." I mean, I don't. That is something you have to ask Maya with regards to Sam. Again, I've only recently just joined the team, so I wouldn't know that information. So yeah, you'll have to ask Maya in a live stream a bit later on with regards to Sam. But she does a fantastic job in what she does, and I think she's a great addition to Tousi TV as well. But yeah, you'll have to ask that question to Maya, my man. Guys, taking some more comments, but thank you so much for your donation. Let's see what everybody else is saying. Trying to find some comments. I mean, do you think there's something? So here you go. Here's Michael saying, so Mandelson says, I have had no business dealings in China, but that's not the question. The question is about 2013. Mandelson hasn't addressed the issue. In fact, let me get that quote up. You might actually be correct with that. He just says, I have no business dealings with them. There's obviously some sort of skepticism over, well, Trump certainly has his reasons. Trump's team certainly has his reasons why they feel that he can't be trusted. And certainly with this FBI investigation, it's something that there's obviously something a little bit fishy that they want to have a little look at. But if you're looking at headlines this morning, it does seem as though it's going to be approved. So take of that what you will. That would probably suggest that an FBI investigation is maybe concluded. But what I did read last week, and I think Mayor actually brought you a story on Tousi TV. Regardless, the message that we were getting last week with regards to Lord Mandelson was that it seemed as though he was going to be potentially accepted. However, was going to be on very, very tight leash. He wouldn't be able to do his job properly. So the reports we were getting last week was that yes, he could get the job and still do the job and be approved to do the job. However, he would be on a really tight leash, and it would kind of make his job untenable. That was the message last week. Of course, things do move forward. Other things have happened. There's been that phone call between Keir Starmer and Donald Trump, which may have had a conversation about this, but what the message was last week, that it could still have been approved, however, would be restricted in doing his job. Again, we haven't got any more clarification on that, but that was the message last week with regard to Lord Mandelson. Let's take some more comments, guys. Or ladies and gentlemen, should I say? I keep getting a lot of stick for saying guys. Sorry, it's just in my vocabulary. I'm trying to get rid of some of those kind of sayings that I say, guys, and all those kind of stuff. Don't worry, I get in trouble from my girlfriend for calling her man sometimes. Bad, I know. Let's have a little look. Yeah, let's take some more comments. Has anyone got any stuff on? Has anyone got any stuff with regards to Lord Mandelson? Do let us know down there in the comments. Mike says, please don't believe that he didn't invite him to the inauguration, so for now it's only messing about. Again, yeah, you can say that he was not invited to the inauguration. That's absolutely correct. And again, if you're going off Nigel Farage's message, when he was there, of course, in the interviews out in America, he was discussing this situation. It was very apparent that Lord Mandelson was not invited to the inauguration, which obviously wasn't off to a good start. But at the same time, Nigel Farage kind of reported on the feeling at the inauguration, kind of spoke about the kind of feeling around Trump's team to the Labour government, and said that it's got off to the worst possible start. I mean, that's quoting Nigel Farage when he was out there himself. So, I mean, you have to take of that what you will, but he was describing it as very, very, the worst possible start to the Trump presidency that Keir Starmer and this Labour government have got off to. But the feeling is now, after this week, almost, with Donald Trump coming out and speaking about Keir Starmer. Again, this is tactical. This is 4D chess, in my personal opinion. However, Keir Starmer talking about these 45-minute phone calls. They're prepared, to work together as such. And it does kind of look like they're starting to get things going, if you like, with regards to Lord Mandelson as such, and going forward. So we'll have to certainly see. But a lot of people still very much do believe that, whether it comes to the defense budget as well, obviously Trump has got a requirement with for the NATO allies to, of course, get this to 3 to 5% in terms of the GDP to bring up the military. The situation is that Starmer currently now with the military defense is putting a delay on it to 2030 and only going up by 2.5%. And again, there's been a bit of an internal feud there from the Labour government with regard to that they could block ties with the US due to the military situation. So that's something to also look upon as well. Let's have a little look at some more comments here. Jane Lindsay says Mandelson was Tony Blair's best buddy. That's how he became a lord. Yeah, it's not what you do, it's who you know. Let's take some more comments, troops. Well, do you think, there's a question for you, do you think Starmer's best interest is to get closer to the US, or is it to get closer to the bloc? What's that feeling, what do you currently feel? Do you think he wants to move further away? Does he want that relationship with the United States, or does he want more of a relationship with the EU? What are your thoughts kind of on that? Again, do let me know in the live chat, we can discuss it. It seems that the Lords and Sirs of title... Craig says, who's going on Saturday? Well, of course, that's the march on February 1st. Who is going? Unfortunately, I can't be there, guys. But I do believe, I'm sure Mayor's going there. I'd have to confirm that. I'm sure he will tell you a bit later on, but I'm sure he's always at these. So I'm sure he'll be bringing you some content from the actual march itself, or certainly Tousi TV teams will be down there on the ground, reporting and bringing you, of course, what is going to be happening. Well, we've got a little message there actually as well from Mayor himself coming through. He says, Tousi TV is looking for a White House correspondent based in and around Washington, D.C. If you have experience and are interested, send us an email by going to butchered that, sorry, Mayor. Go to www.tousi.tv. So if you are interested in that position, guys, send an email across. Let's go through here again. There's a lot of people saying they're going to the march, of course. Take another comment here. 51 Angelic says, we've always had a good relationship, and if our armed forces are becoming less and he doesn't want to give the money to this is what we will do. Again, the military is another conversation that we need to discuss. Of course, there has been a big one coming out recently in terms of yesterday discussions about this, but again, as a former service personnel, it isn't dire straits and something that needs a lot of money and it needs a lot of backing to get it back to where it was. The army in the military is not just for fighting wars, it's there for a deterrent. You've got to have a strong military. I still do believe that the personnel are absolutely fantastic in terms of the training, the best in the world, or one of the best in the world, but certainly everything in and around it, the retention rates, the recruitment rates, is something that's very, very bad. And, Trump's demands of getting that to 5% in terms of all of the allies to bring them up, then, if Starmer is currently delaying that and only wanting to go by 2.5% by 2030, that, of course, could be a problem. But there is currently an ongoing feud within the Labour government currently with that. There's a lot of people that have turned on Keir Starmer's decision to delay the military spending. So we'll have to wait and see if there's any further developments on that one a little bit later on. But to just have a little look here again. All right, guys, let me clear this one up. Free Mayor. Mayor's coming back today Baer's coming back today. He'll be back later for some videos. He'll be back for live streams as well. Yesterday, just to reiterate, he did have a personal problem, hence why I've done back-to-back live streams. But of course, he will be back later. And on that note, troops, you will see him bring you all of the latest news, and that is probably enough from me. But as always, guys, please do hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's carry on this conversation down there in the comment section below. What do you think of the FBI investigating Lord Mandelson? What do you think of him being set to be approved as the UK ambassador to the United States? Again, let me know all of this down there in the comment section below, and hit that notification bell, because Mayo is going to be back with a lot more news later on today. Guys, I have been Dan, this has been Tousi TV, and we are the media.